In this tutorial, we will demonstrate Discover script for the purpose of parsing Nmap output results. For this particular tutorial, we'll use the Kali VM as well as our Metasploitable 2 target. Make sure you have both of them started. The first thing we'll do is we'll go into the Kali VM and change our network configuration to allow us to connect to the internet. So I'm going to do a network translation, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, from a terminal, open up a terminal, and I'm going to type in dhclan-v to get a new address. Then I'm going to open up Firefox to google.com, and from there search for the Discover script. Discover scripts are actually doing a lot more than just parsing Nmap, so check them out. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to grab the URL. What I did is I clicked on clone or download, highlighted, selected the entire URL, and copied it. So from there, we're going to open up a new terminal and change our working directory to the OPT directory. From here, we're going to use the git clone command to actually download the entire content of the Discover folder and put it within OPT folder called Discover. So this will take a moment. If you're getting any error messages up to this point, you didn't execute the command correctly, didn't perhaps set up your network configuration correctly, so redo the steps. So now, if I do the list command, we should see the Discover folder. We're going to change the working directory to the Discover folder. From here, we should have the Discover script. If the Discover script is in, let's call it the green color, then the script is likely executable. Okay, so we have read, write, execute for the root user, which is great. Read, write, execute. R is read, W write, X and execute. So from here, what we need to do is run Discover, and now we have different options. This is a menu-driven tool. It's all command line based, but again, we're given some options. So in order to complete and actually put it to use, what we need to do is we need to run an Nmap scan against our target. So for this purpose, I'm going to go back in, change the configuration settings for my network interface, and put it into host-only adapter. On the host-only interface, if you noticed, my IP address automatically changed to a host-only address, and this is 192.168.56.100. If you were to jump over to the Metasploitable target, let's see, our current address is 101. Let's do a quick test to make sure that we can communicate from the Kali VM to the target. And 56.101, and you notice the 64 bytes response from 101. This is great. So we can. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to launch an Nmap scan. Okay, we're going to launch an Nmap scan, and one thing we will do is I'm going to type it in and then explain. I'm going to call it okay. So what I did here is I typed in Nmap-A for aggressive scan, which is going to include script scanning, service detection, any open port, reasoning for actual guessing of operating system, and so on. the dash V is the verbosity, the level of detail that's going to show the progress of the scan, and dash lowercase or capital X is we want to specify output of the results in XML format. And I specified that I want to output the results in XML file on the located in the root desktop metasploitable.xml. Now I'm going to hit it looks like I didn't execute something correctly. Let's see. No targets were specified. Well, hello. In order for us to actually scan the metasploitable VM, I needed to specify the actual IP for it. So if you make sure you specify all the commands and then don't forget the target. Okay, that's better. And the way I found out what my error was just reading the output. No targets were specified, so 0 hosts were scanned. So from here, what we're doing is we're looking for doing our scan, and somewhere on the desktop, if I specify the command correctly, there should be a file. Metasploitable XML, which I don't know where it is, but oh, right there. Because I wasn't able to see it in the GUI, I made sure I look into the command line and make sure that it's there. So the file is there. So what's happening now is we're looking into and we're getting some output of the responses from the target. So we're waiting for those results to complete. And the results are complete. So now, if you were to double click this file, you can see this is the actual results. Okay, it's kind of difficult to read. If you were to look into the results here, we probably have to copy and paste, put them into a table, more standardized format. Instead of doing that manual work or try to automate most of the work, what we will do is we're going to invoke the discover script and then parse it from an XML format into a CSV format. And the CSV format we can import into Excel and structure it, filter it, and then just add on some additional components. Let's see what that looks like. So again, we're going to go into the OPT directory. I need to go into discover, and then I'm going to start the discover script. Once I start the discover script, I need to use the miscellaneous category and option 14 for parsing XML. And from here, I need to specify Nmap. So what is the location of the file? Well, desktop. Notice the capital D in desktop. In Linux, we can have two files with the same name. If they're uppercase, it's one file. If it's lowercase, it's a different file. So, and then the name of the scan was metasploitable XML. So we do the magic, and new report is located in root data Nmap. So let's copy the root data Nmap 21 to root desktop. So what I'm doing with the copy command is I'm copying the file from this location, the file called Nmap with the timestamp CSV, into the location of my desktop, which is root desktop. So I should see the file here, and Nmap, and here's the CSV file. All right. So from here, what I can do is I can copy this file into my host, or I can probably transfer the file. In order to do that copy and paste functionality, to make sure that you have the VirtualBox additions installed. VirtualBox additions installed. So we're gonna save it as a portable CSV right on my desktop. Okay. And we're gonna do a quick import here. So we are gonna do, well, it's gonna be a text format, but that's not the case. Okay, so I selected the Metasploitable import. We're gonna tell how we're gonna import this. Everything's delimited with a comma. So next, we're gonna tell it with a comma delimited. And we're gonna click finish. We're gonna start at A1. Voila. So now, if you noticed, all the results were parsed in this format. Now, the one component that's not included into the parsing is the script details. What does it look like? What am I referring to? Oh, very simple. So if I can go back to my original file, see where I did the scan. Not this one. So maybe this one. Nope. Okay, so it looks like I closed the window unintentionally. So let's look through the difficult to read XML file. So we're looking into, we see that the type of Nmap we launched, the different tags make it a little bit difficult to read, but we still have all the data that I'm referring to. So particularly anonymous. All right, so if you look in here, I'm looking for port 21. Port 21 was scanned, and we have the reason for it. We have the response. We see the service that was running, so service name FTP. Product, we see that it was VS FTPD. We see the version. We see the OS type. And then what we're seeing also is, look at this. We see script ID, FTP anon, output. The output is not parsed out. Okay, and what we're getting is anonymous FTP. So really, what we can do is search for the output and make sure we add this anonymous FTP into this category. Okay, so that's the level of detail that wasn't added. Let's look into another example. So for port 22, in port 22, we have script ID SSH host key. So the host key was discovered, and we're seeing that the output of this host key is the following. That's it looks like the private or the public key. So we copy this, we come in and do it here. Great. So with that in mind, let's see what else we can parse out with the script scan. Looking into the next one is port 23, and we're looking into any special scripts that were invoked, and it looks like there's nothing special. Going down to port 25, we're seeing that the script ID, so the particular script that was invoked was SMTP command, so the simple message transfer protocol commands, and the output was Metasploitable local domain. These are the different supported commands. Okay, so we copy this, come in, paste it for port 25. Great, and that continue on until we actually go through all ports. Another way to look through this information and make sure it's easier to read, you don't have to go off the XML file that I showed you. You can actually go off the Nmap result. So let's say that you're using Nmap, okay, and you are scanning your. I'm only going to focus on one port to make it quicker. So let's say that you launch the Nmap scan against your target. You're going to get these results. You can read them from Nmap and then translate the script output into the Excel table. to make things short, I'm just going to focus on port 21. So I'm going to do only a scan of port 21 for any scripts. Okay, port 21. And the completion should be relatively quick. Completed. We see that it was open. We're looking at the Nmap script engine scan. Those are the different scripts. It's going to run through different iteration of scripts. I could have specified a anonymous FTP, but we let it run through the whole gamut of FTP for that particular service. So look into this. Okay, so we saw that the FTP anonymous is showing up. So if you're looking through here, if you look into the XML file anonymous, you can look in, it's the same information, it's just represented in a different format. You can use either representation to make sure you complete your table. Thank you for watching.